Earlier tonight on KVUE News at 6, we talked about the implications of Texas House Bill 3, which requires armed security on every school campus.
State lawmakers passed it after the Robb Elementary School shooting in Uvalde in 2022. 19 students and 2 teachers were killed that day. This week marks 2 years since that tragedy, and some Central Texas school districts are still struggling to meet the requirements of House Bill 3, either due to budget problems or not being able to find the staff to hire.
Tonight, KVUE's Isabella Basco looks at why advocates believe there's another reason the new law is a bad idea.
7 months ago, Texas lawmakers approved a bill that requires an armed security officer on practically every school campus in Texas. It was a reaction to the tragedy at Uvalde in 2022, as 19 students and 2 teachers died when an armed man invaded Robb Elementary School. Despite the new law, critics question whether having armed guards is the best answer to the threat of campus violence or the smartest way to spend the limited amount of dollars meant to go to education.
The reality is increasing more guns in our schools does not make our schools more safe. It actually makes our students and our families less safe.
Paige Duggins-Clay is advocating the legislature to repeal House Bill 3.
Research shows that adding armed security, and particularly police, can destabilize school climates and ultimately doesn't prevent targeted school violence before it occurs.
The Center for Public Integrity analyzed data from the U.S. Department of Education that found school policing disproportionately affects students of color and students with disabilities. A national study found introducing police officers into schools does lead to an increase in the arrest rates of young children.
There are supposed to be very clear boundaries between school policing and security work and school discipline, but unfortunately, in our experience, that line gets blurred.
Esperanza Orozco is the mother of a student at Nagley Elementary, which is part of Hayes CISD. She says House Bill 3 isn't practical.
In my district alone, we have over 24 campuses. Is that realistic to think we'll have the law enforcement to staff each and every campus?
Jeff Seibel is the parent of 2 daughters, one in middle school and one in elementary. He has mixed feelings on the law.
I understand it from that perspective of why it needed to happen, but on the other side of it, taking away resources from other activities that kids are more involved in it's a difficult thing for districts to deal with.
Duggins-Clay worries about the impact of more law enforcement on school campuses.
We know that our educators are trained on the developmental stages of young people and how to support them with, again, positive behavior interventions and support. And those same trainings and approaches are not certainly not core, I think, to what law enforcement is trained to do.
Learning from the tragedies of the past.
Just as a parent, it's just it's frustrating and it's sad, and again, I could not imagine my child not coming home.
So many questions still when it comes to preventing school-based violence, leaving parents and school leaders to find answers as we close one school year and soon begin another. As school districts still look to fill these positions, you can find a link with more information with this story on KVUE.com. In studio, Isabella Basco for KVUE News.